to the fan favorite portion of the show. This Week in History. Trivia style. 7 questions, all set to medium difficulty, all with multiple choice answers. You get your answers in. We talk about the things as we roll through, and we try to get all 7 right. It's harder than you think. It happens way less often than you would imagine. I read the question. I also do not know the answers. I mean, I may know the answer, but I don't know the correct answer until at the end of the game, we ask AI to provide us with the correct answers. So here we go. Question number 1. It's July 27th, 1953. What agreement brought major fighting in the Korean War to an end? On July 27th, 1953, what agreement brought major fighting in the Korean War to an end? Here are your multiple choice options. Was it the Treaty of Seoul, the Korean Armistice Agreement, the Treaty of Tokyo, or the Panmunjom Peace Treaty? Again, these are your options. Was it the Treaty of Seoul, the Korean Armistice Agreement, the Treaty of Tokyo, or the Panmunjom Peace Treaty? I have my answer locked in, but it's not fair to you because I am a Korean War veteran. And the answer to this question explains why I am a Korean War veteran. So I do know the answer to this one. And you will too, in a few more questions. Panmun sounds good. Jessica goes with Korean Armistice. Panmunjom is right there. That's where Panmunjom is, right there at the 38th parallel. It sounds good. Korean Armistice sounds good too. I'm going to hold my answer towards the end. Zach Jack, did you leave us? Are you not playing along? You don't want to show us how smart you are? You're brilliant, Professor. Question number 2. Which amendment to the U.S. Constitution was officially adopted on July 28th, 1868, granting citizenship and equal protection under the law? July 28th, 1868, what amendment to the U.S. Constitution was officially adopted, granting citizenship and equal protection under the law? The 13th, the 14th, the 15th, or the 19th? Which was it? The 13th, 14th, and 15th all fall under the Reconstructionist amendments. We had to put ourselves back together again because we had a little argument with ourselves, and some recovery, some reconstruction needed to be done there. You got the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th. Or the 19th. What do we got over here? James comes in with the 19th. Waiting on Jessica and anybody else out there that wants to get their answer in before we move right along. But I'm not going to rush her. She gets her answer in when she gets her answer in. Where are the kids? Why aren't the kids playing? I want this to be a family thing. This is our virtual family getting together every week and doing these things. July 29th, 1958. What U.S. government agency was created in response to the growing space race? James and Jessica both go with the 19th. Interesting. I'm going to tell you right now. Oh, must be nice to be sleeping at 11 o'clock in the morning. I believe it is the 14th Amendment, and I believe you're both wrong. And they were out to, I'll just go ahead and give you my number 1 answer right now. Number 1, I believe it was the Korean Armistice Agreement. Number 2, the 14th Amendment. Number 3, what U.S. government agency was created in response to the growing space race? Was it NOAA, NASA, DARPA, or the FAA? What U.S. government agency was created on July 29, 1958, in response to the growing space race? NOAA, NASA, DARPA, or the FAA? James pops in quickly with NASA. Jessica likes to take her time, so I'll go ahead and move on to question number 4. July 30th, 1956, what phrase did the U.S. Congress officially adopt as the nation's motto? Was it liberty and justice for all? One nation under God? In God we trust? Or e pluribus unum? It's July 30th, 1956. What phrase did the U.S. Congress officially adopt as the nation's motto? Liberty and justice for all? One nation under God? In God we trust? Or e pluribus unum? Jessica got her answer in for the previous question, saying NASA. Yes, NASA. What the heck is going on? I just noticed that. What the heck is... Oh, come on, son of a biscuit eater. I'm not dealing with it. I'm going to cut it all out later anyway. No, it's showing very well there. I just never moved it over. Baka, baka, baka. Come on. James is going to go with e pluribus unum. He could be right. He may be right. Jessica is going to go with in God we trust. And I am going to agree with her. My mom does enjoy a good biscuit. Okay. All right. Question number 5. Which Apollo mission became the first to use the lunar roving vehicle on the moon? Which Apollo mission became the first to use the lunar roving vehicle on the moon? Was it Apollo 11, 13, 15, or 17? Which one was it? What Apollo mission got their little dune buggy out and went driving around the moon? Was it 11, 13, 15, or 17? Taking place on July 31st, 1971. I have my answer, and it is locked in. While you think of your answer and why the time delay catches up. All right, there we go. Jessica pops in with 13. James pops in with 15. I agree with James on this one. All right, what cable television network launched with the words, ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll, on August the 1st, 1981? Shut up, man. She doesn't need to know that. She just needs to know that her answer was accepted. And your answer was accepted. Initial answer, blackjack, no trade back. August the 1st, 1981, what cable television network launched with the words, ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll? And then played a song that wasn't rock and roll. Was it? His old Poppy. James pops in without looking at the multiple choice answers with MTV, and that is one of the options available. Was it VH1, MTV, CNN, or ESPN? Those don't make any sense at all, do they? So it's either MTV or it's VH1. Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll. Radio killed the radio star. Stupid. Stupid. Yeah, I know. Jessica, take your time getting your answer in there. And look, you reserve this time to be with me, okay? This is the thing that we do. I don't want you multitasking. I want your full attention. Here's the last question. Which U.S. president died unexpectedly while serving in office? August 2nd, 1923. What U.S. president died unexpectedly while serving in office on August 2nd, 1923? Well, if you know who the president was in 1923, you got an option, because there was two of them. There was this guy, and then there was the guy that replaced him. And yes, I'm sure it was a guy. Most likely, the dog and cat beg to differ. They say it's their time. And she gets MTV finally typed in. All right. James likes to beat the buzzer. He typed in Cleveland, and he's wrong, because it's not an option. So it can't be right. Was it William McKinley, Warren G. Harding, Calvin Coolidge, or Herbert Hoover? Those are your actual options. Who was the president that died in 1923 is the easiest way of asking the question. Was it William McKinley, Warren G. Harding, Calvin Coolidge, or Herbert Hoover? Being the last question, I have to give you a little bit more time to get your answers in. And while you're doing that, I get to type in. All right, James is going to go with McKinley. God, I got to replace this battery on my wireless mouse. It is being a pain in the tuchus. I can hear that rhythm. I have asked for the answers. James has answered McKinley. Waiting on Jessica. Yes, and many of them were named John or James. And the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Plus, they all wore those stupid wigs that came from the same designer. Hello, little wig guy. All right, we're going to move along. I'm tired of talking. Question number one, the correct answer was the Korean Armistice Agreement. It couldn't have been all the others because those were peace treaties. Korea technically is still at war with each other. It's just a really long ceasefire. So keep that. And anyone who serves in Korea is technically serving in Korea during the Korean War because the war's not over. So they get a Korean Defense Service Medal. It's green and yellow. It's ugly, but I'm happy to have it. I'm not giving it back. Question number two. No, it wasn't the 19th Amendment. It was the 14th Amendment, and it's been in the news a lot lately because of anchor babies, because of birth tourism. Supposedly, if you don't have legal standing in this country and you can drop a baby while you're here, that baby is instantly gratified with citizenship. Whether that is right or wrong is an argument for the ages. But when they wrote the 14th Amendment, they were pretty specific in the fact that you needed to be here legally. This isn't a loophole for people to come in and have babies. And there's an entire industry that's created around baby tourism. And they love coming here to have babies. They get you on a plane, boop, I got a baby. Question number three, of course, NASA was created because of the space race. DARPA was too, but you don't know what DARPA was, and it wasn't on that date. The phrase that Congress officially took on board was, as Jessica said, as I agreed to, in God we trust. Question number five, James is correct. 13 did not land on the moon. Do you know why? Because Houston, we have a problem. But the next time we go back, we skip 14. It's funny, we do 11, we do 13, we do 15, we do 17. Why odd numbers? I don't know. Why did they use 13, traditionally a number that is associated with bad luck, but skip 14? No one's mad at 14. You could have used 14. Anyway, 11 went up, and they proved that we could do it. 13 went up and proved that we could survive screwing up, and 15 went back to play some golf in their golf cart, in their buggy. 19 is not prohibition. A separate question that's being asked. Of course, August 1st, 1981, the rock and roll referred to was the Buggles, and Video Killed the Radio Star. Not rock and roll. Like, should have been some AC/DC, some band in 1981 that was killing it. Some Def Leppard. Something. Rock and roll. And finally, the president who died unexpectedly in office in 1923 was Warren Harding. And I shake my head in a little disbelief there because I don't know. Did I give my answer? Because my answer would have been Warren Harding. Did I give my answer? I gave all my other answers. If I did give my answer, your boy, and only your boy, went 7 for 7 this week. That, the adulation. I rolled a midnight on the Warno Friday, and now I did this, and everything worked, and I tested everything in advance. It's a good day. It's a good way to start your Sunday. I think I've heard that somewhere before. With that being said, wrong. What are you yelling? No, what was I wrong about? I think I understand what you're doing right now, and that's very funny. It's very funny, because even though I'm right, I'm still wrong. In U.S. Fleet Force's idea of what right and wrong is. Yeah, I saw your scores, because someone sent them to me. Think about that, and come talk to me sometime next week. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for us today. I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you are a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow. Chick Brew sends her love. I'll see you next Friday, next Saturday, or you'll hear me anytime you want by listening to the Lunsby Show with T-Bone and Chick Brew. Ciao for now. Lunsby!